All right, my dear BIBLEin365 family, we have started at the book of Genesis, and that is pretty exciting. Actually, you guys are going to be starting as well in Matthew and in the Psalms and Proverbs. This is exciting stuff, and I want to remind you that what we are doing this year is going to be slightly different than last. Now, we want you to still go back to the biblical summaries that I did for each book. It's very, very valuable, but every single summary that I do this year actually it's going to take a little bit more work, but it is designed to give you specific homework assignments or highlight specific areas of that particular book that will help to expand your overall biblical knowledge. Now, here in Genesis, there's a lot of places where I thought maybe I could have gone. I was thinking maybe we talk about creation and some of the nuancing that goes on there, especially in the Hebrew language, or maybe we go with some of the Telemundo stuff. You know what I'm talking about, the novellas. It's kind of that way, sort of Jerry Springer material when you start getting into the story of Joseph and some of these other places. But I thought that perhaps the best place to go would be Genesis chapter 49. Now, I think learning and focusing on Genesis chapter 49 will be expansive with respect to your overall Bible knowledge because it would particularly educate you concerning the nature, the attitude, and the prophetic elements related to the nation of Israel. Let me explain myself. In Genesis chapter 49, you have a very unique circumstance where Jacob, later on in his life named Israel, he is laying in front of his children. He's on his deathbed. He's getting ready to die. And so he proclaims his final blessings and curses upon his children. Now, of course, his children comprise the tribes of Israel. And so it is valuable, exceptionally valuable, to understand the prophetic and declarative elements that are brought forth by Jacob to his children, because if you can understand what's said in Genesis 49, you will have a much more thorough understanding of the nation of Israel, especially when the northern kingdom separates from the southern kingdom, and especially when you begin to look into a lot of New Testament language, when lots of biblically prophetic words are revealed to us in the New Testament concerning declarations made in the Old. Now, I could give you an example of where this becomes valuable, especially in Genesis chapter 49. If you were to plow down to verse 10 of Genesis chapter 49, you will read something to the effect of, the scepter will not depart from Judah until Shiloh comes. Now, this is a prophecy. And the prophecy is very interesting because the prophecy relates to a very, very, very important issue related to the Messiah. And it's a very important thing. And if you don't know what it's talking about, it's basically saying that Israel's independence will not be removed until the Messiah comes. And so it was believed that the scepter did depart from Judah in right around 0 to 3 AD, right? And a lot of people mourned during that time because they had believed that Shiloh had not come. Yet in a small, little, insignificant town, Bethlehem, the Messiah was actually born. That is the story of Christmas, and it's something that we talk about extensively. Now, that's only one little portion of Genesis chapter 49 that gives you a tremendous amount of insight regarding the Messiah, regarding Jesus, and of course, regarding the nation of Israel. So homework is go through Genesis chapter 49 and learn about all of the nuances that are there. Now, let me help you with that. You can go to CalvaryChapelSignalHill.com. You can go to YouTube. You can go to JamesCadiz.com. You can go to the Calvary Chapel Signal Hill app, and you can go through my teaching on Genesis chapter 49, where I talk about this. I believe I go through this in 3 Bible studies, and it will give you some very deep, rich insight, sort of on a precursory level, but it's something to give you some insight to dig into, and it should be able to help you really understand the nature of the nation of Israel. And it becomes very valuable when we get into a book like Hebrews, where we start talking about how the Messiah finds his shall we say, and this is a very harsh word, but finds his validity, right? His authority to be able to do what he actually does, right? We learn about the Aaronic priesthood versus the Melchizedekian priesthood. I really butchered Melchizedekian. I said that like somebody who doesn't speak the language. Ouch! But no one really would know that unless they spoke my language. The other thing is it also gives us a good understanding as into why Jesus needed to be from the tribe of Judah, yet come after a priestly line that surpasses the Aaronic priesthood, right? Very interesting stuff. You will love it. The more you learn about it, the better your knowledge of the Bible increases. And it's pretty insightful stuff. You will love it. It will edify you, encourage you. So let's get to work. And don't forget, I've got a Q&A session I'm doing every single month, sometimes 2 times a month, that will be designed to help any questions that may arise from your work here or conversations you have with your friends. And by the way, we are bringing into this year a series on how to study the Bible. And I'm looking forward to walking you through that. It's going to be a great time. All right? Love you guys. God bless you. Keep fighting the good fight.